Hello to all Year 9s. Are you ready for the NAPLAN 2025 test? I'm going to show you numeracy questions in 10-minute slots. This is a pretty familiar question, but sometimes the numbers might be different. So I want to show you how to go about it. So in this question, they have an expression here, 18 times 37 minus 26 times 18, and they want you to decide which one is closest, A, B, C, D, because we can simplify it. So how do we simplify it? First of all, I want to draw your attention to a word called bedmess. And if your teacher uses bodmess, that's okay. Don't worry about the O and the E. It's the same thing, just a different letter. What I'm interested is in two things. We have here multiplication, subtraction, and multiplication. And this problem cannot be solved unless you know the rules of bodmess or bedmess. So you notice here that multiplication trumps addition. This means that multiplication needs to be done first. In order to do so, we need to put brackets around multiplication. Like so. Okay, well, there's no point in us multiplying 18 by 37 because that will be a huge number. Multiply 26 by 18, that's also a huge number. And I don't see any huge numbers in here. Also, there is a subtraction sign here, and all we have is multiplication signs over here. So I can't do it by working that way, but what I can see is that 18 and 18 repeats itself. Could this be significant? What would happen if I took 18 out of these brackets in here and also 18 away from these brackets onto here? Okay, but I could now take the 18 out again. And now I would have 18 multiplied by 37 take away 26. So let's do 37 take away 26 because that's in the bracket, so we do it first. And gosh, we get 18 times 11, which is right down over here, 18 times 11. Now I might say this was not an easy question, but I hope that next time you see something similar, you will go about it in this way. Okay, so the second question says that a positive number was multiplied by itself. What does that even mean? That means, is it 1 times 1, 2 times 2, 3 times 3, or 100 times 100? What number? Well, it's some positive number. So this positive number, we don't know what it is. We'll have to give it a letter. Let's just say that the positive number was x. We call it a variable. Yes, we'll write it like this. X times x. Now, sometimes we don't need to write the times. We can write the times like a little dot. Okay, that's okay. So this will refer to x times x. And the next thing we're told is then 8 was subtracted. And now we're told that the answer was 17. Oh, cool. Well, we've got that. Now, what was the number? That means what was that number x? We'll put it into this rectangle over here. Well, do you also know that how you can change x times x into x squared? Like this. X squared. Now, we need to find the value of x. So we're going to have to rearrange and get rid of the minus 8. And I do this by adding an 8 to this left-hand side and also adding an 8 to this right-hand side, because whatever we do to the left-hand side, we also must do to the right-hand side. And so now x squared is equal to, once these two disappear because minus 8 plus 8 just goes to 0, and we get 17 plus 8. The right hand side, which happens to be 25. Now 25 is a really nice number. It's a square number, which is perfect because we've got x squared. So therefore, what is x? And so x is equal to 5, because if we look at our original x and we put 5 times 5, that'll be 25. 25 take away 8, it will equal to 17. So our answer is going to be 5. Okay, this question states that 25% of Rochelle's income is spent on rent. So this problem deals with percentages. Now, really, this question is very easy if you remember this. At 25% is the same thing as saying 25 over 100, which cancels down to 1 over 4, which is a quarter. So all you're wanting to do is to find out what is a quarter of $1,280. So how do you find that? 25% of, whenever you see the word of, that means you multiply it. So a quarter multiplied by 1,280. And so a quarter of 1,280 is usually written as a quarter multiplied by 1,280. And that means that 1,280 needs to be divided by 4. And if you divide 1,280 by 4, then 4 into 12 goes 3 times, and 4 into 8 goes twice, and 4 into 0 goes 0, and so that's $320. And so our answer is $320. And we can put that down there. The dollar sign is already in front, so all we need to do is put 320. To do this problem, you need to know how to estimate. So you will need to know what happens to numbers which are the last digit of a number. So your last digits could be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9. Let's look at the digits 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's 5 digits altogether. Now we'll take the next 5, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. These colors should help us to estimate. For example, in the number 87, our last digit is 7, so we will color it yellow. And in 43, our last digit is 3, so we'll color it green. In 28, our last digit is 8, so we'll color it 28. And finally, in the last number 19, the last digit is 9, and we'll color it 9. Now, what does that mean? What does it mean if you have a yellow 5, 6, 7, or 8, or 9? Well, it means that the digit beforehand is going to either round down or either round up. So when we see the yellow digits, we'll round them up. Okay, round up. And when we see the digits in green, then we're going to round the number down. And so our first number, 8, will need to be rounded up, and we'll have 90. Instead of 87, 90. And 43 will now, it will be rounded down, so 4 is just going to stay 4. 28 will now be rounded up to 30, and 19 with a 9 at the end will be also rounded up to 20. So this is the estimated values, 90 plus 40 times 30 minus 20. And these values can be seen in 90 plus 40 all the way here in this. The answer will be D. And we just made it in 10 minutes.